there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite. Alright, so tonight's AEW Dynamite kicked off with the TNT Championship match, Street Fight. It was Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky. Wow, honestly, I'm not surprised with the outcome of this match, but in a way, I do feel kind of bad for Scorpio Sky because I feel like his two reigns got kind of shafted in a way. So I also felt like this wasn't much of a street fight either. It was a good match, don't get me wrong. I just didn't feel that way. I mean, maybe it's because they didn't really use weapons, so to speak. I really like that moonsault that Wardlow did to Scorpio Sky. I will say that much right now. Wardlow, for being a big guy, he sure knows how to fly. Of course, Dan Lambert and American Top Team, they got involved in this match, which is not a surprising fact. I really like when Wardlow also shoved Scorpio Sky into Dan Lambert. And this match basically ends after Wardlow hits the Powerball Symphony 3 times. And he pins Scorpio Sky with the foot on his chest. So now Wardlow is a new TNT champion, and he won his first official title in AEW. Like I said, it's a good match, but I felt like it just, when I think of a street fight, I think of weapons and, blood and stuff. And I felt like it just didn't give me that. But it was still a good match. Still a good match. Maybe it should have been a no DQ or something as opposed to a street fight. But congrats to Wardlow for being the new TNT champion. All right, and then afterwards, we got Jon Moxley basically talking about how he was caught off guard. He said he beat Tanahashi in the face and that he knows who Brody King is. He's done his homework and his research. And he says that he says that you either step up or get stepped on. So a little message to Brody King. Then we get a segment. I now notice a lot of things. There was a lot of segments throughout this show too. So Smart Mark Sterling is trying to approach Keith Lee, trying to sign some petition called the People Against Swerve Strickland to get Swerve banned, but Keith Lee says that Swerve Strickland is still his partner, and then they are still winning despite the issues that they're having. And then later on in the night, he tries to get Orange Cassidy to sign the document, which eventually is going to lead to Tony Nese versus Orange Cassidy on Rampage. So afterwards, we get a Christian Cage segment, another segment. Yeah, this is an in-ring segment. So he was basically talking about how, even though this show is coming off the heels of Blood and Guts, he's the Cage that everybody's talking about. And he doesn't come alone. Obviously, he comes out with Luchasaurus in his black attire, new entrance music. Pretty badass, if you ask me. Very Kane-like vibes. Matt Hardy interrupts Christian, and he says that he's friends with Jungle Boy, and he said that what Christian did to Jungle Boy, nobody deserved, and nobody does. Nobody deserves what Christian did to Jungle Boy. And Christian basically fires back and says, since when is Matt Hardy all buddies with Jungle Boy? And then I really like that he said this, which I thought was ouch. Christian told Matt Hardy, "You're starting to sound like your brother is a sober one." Ow. That was a good line. Let's see. This was the best promo of the show. Christian is just amazing in the heel run that he is on. Yeah, I'm getting Judgment Day vibes from heel Christian. I think it's better than Judgment Day vibes, if you ask me. But yeah, definitely awesome line by Christian. Matt then refers to how he's telling Christian that he's only using Luchasaurus to make money, but he did with Private Party and Butcher and the Blade, AFHO. And then Christian accuses Matt of being a clout chaser. Also says that he turns a blind eye to Jeff's issues so that he can keep riding his coattails. Oh my God, it's two great lines back to back. I mean, this was a really good promo. Honestly, it's been such a long time since I've seen a heel Christian. These past couple of weeks that he's been doing his whole heel stuff, it has been really, really great. I forgot how good Christian was as a heel. He says that Christian points out that Matt Hardy is actually the most embarrassing, is an embarrassment to his family. He says only things that stood out in the show: Christian's promo and Wardlow winning the TNT Championship. Yeah, I agree. And then of course there's a beatdown on Matt Hardy, and Luchasaurus puts him through a table, and throws him into steel steps. And so now it seems like we might get a feud between Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. But I feel like if that's the route they're going for, obviously Matt Hardy's not just going to have Christian Cage. He's going to probably have to get through Wardlow to get to Christian. I mean, he's probably going to have to go through Luchasaurus to get to Christian Cage. My bad. Sorry. So after that, we get a Claudio Castagnoli and Jake Hager segment. Hager says that Claudio has never been a world champion, neither in Ring of Honor or in WWE, and he won't be one in AEW. Ouch. And he says that, and Hager goes on to say he's undefeated in MMA, and Claudio Castagnoli says that he's also undefeated currently in AEW. So they have a no-touch clause, so they can't touch each other until their match. So, it's going to be a really good one when they actually meet. Then we get Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee versus Butcher and the Blade. So I'm not a huge fan of Butcher and Blade. This is going to be great between Claudio and Hager next week. I definitely do agree. I'm not a huge fan of Butcher and the Blade. They never caught my attention. Never. But this match was okay. It was Swerve Strickland biting the Butcher's hand. Ow. And then I really like how there was this one spot where Blade kind of like he pushes Swerve Strickland into Keith Lee's path, and he gets mad because if you guys recall, like there's already some friction between Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland because he betrayed him in the battle royal and threw him over. But despite that, Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee end up being victorious. Then Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks come out, basically saying that they're tired of Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee disrespecting them. And Ricky Starks says he's going to beat Lee and Strickland. You guys know. Butcher and Blade equals boring. Yeah, they're not really my cup of tea. So then, of course, the current AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, come out, and Matt Jackson basically says he doesn't have to apologize for anything since they started this company. And he says that at Double or Nothing, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland got 4.5 stars, but they couldn't beat Jurassic Express. That's something that the Young Bucks did to become tag team champions. So next week, we're going to get a Triple or Nothing. It's a 3-way. It's going to be the Young Bucks versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. And the crowd throughout this entire segment was chanting FTR, FTR. Another 3-way match. Yeah, definitely. So they're rooting. The FTR is really over. And honestly, it's probably going to be FTR versus the Young Bucks at some point. So I really think the Young Bucks are going to win that. I would be surprised if they don't, but I'm pretty sure they are. Okay. So then we get Eddie Kingston promo. He basically congratulates Wardlow. He congratulates his blood and guts teammates, including Claudio. And Kingston says that he wants to taste Jericho's blood. Then it cuts backstage to Chris Jericho saying how if Kingston wants to touch his blood, taste his blood, you should get a look at this. And you see Ty Conti slamming a car door on Ruby Soho's arm. Tony Khan didn't book the show. It felt like Bruce Pritchard booked the show. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And so then we get a Dark Order segment. So the crowd starts chanting Brody because they're in Rochester, New York, which is the late Brody Lee's hometown. And they basically say Rochester is Dark Order country. Evil Uno says that they have important news, and he wants to personally thank every single one of the people in attendance for showing up. And he says that Dark Order is forever. The 6 of them are here to stay. And then QT Marshall interrupts and says that Brody is a legend, but -1 takes after his mom. And then Hangman comes out, throws QT Marshall in there. And he gets hit by all these finishers. And then -1 says he's going to wait until he's 19, I guess, to accept QT Marshall's challenge. Here's the thing, though. Like, I wish all the members of Dark Order were out there, including Alan Angel, Stu Grayson, but their contract expired, so they weren't renewed. And I just feel like it's kind of a shame. Like, I feel like Dark Order really hasn't done much. Their storyline with Hangman Adam Page, even though he came out in this segment, really didn't go anywhere. They haven't won the tag titles, and they had so much potential, and I just feel like they're just there now. They're not really. I mean, they're not doing anything on Dynamite, and even Colt Cabana was like, "Where is Colt Cabana?" Well, here we go. So Fightful Select reported that Colt Cabana is technically still signed to All Elite Wrestling, but Talon were told that wasn't always going to be the case. He said that as far back as March, Fightful heard rumblings from AEW Talon that there is a bit of internal uproar over the idea that Colt Cabana was not said to be renewed by All Elite Wrestling. So sources indicated to Fightful that Colt Cabana is almost never at AEW TV, if at all, and hasn't been booked to compete in some time. Around mid-April, most believe that Cabana was re-signed as part of the ROH band, and he remains on the AEW roster page. So there's your answer if you guys were wondering what happened to Colt Cabana. I know I was. And he wasn't even on that segment. So it's like they should have all been out there. Like, I don't know. They could have maybe worked something out to get Colt Cabana, maybe Alan Angels and Stu Grayson out there. I don't know. It just felt like Dark Order, just that segment. It would have been nice just to see everybody out there paying homage and respect to Brody Lee. And Evil Uno, when he said that he had something important to say, I kind of started thinking, oh, maybe they're going to go their separate ways. But I don't think they'll ever split up the Dark Order just because it's supposed to honor Brody Lee. So, I mean, at this point, I just feel like, I don't think they're going to do anything. I would be surprised if they do something of significance, but I don't know if they ever are. When QT came out, I was like, this segment was not needed. Definitely. Then we get Penta Oscuro versus Rush. It was a good match. I liked it. My favorite spot in this match, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I know some people didn't like this, was when Alex Abrahantes attacked Jose the assistant. Okay, he had that coming. He really did. And then also Rey Fenix and Andrade get involved on the outside. Another spot that I liked was the headbutts exchange between both Penta Oscuro and Rush. That leaping knee strike to Penta was pretty cool. But okay, so like the way this match ended was because like Andrade put Rush's foot on the rope. And Phoenix caught him, so he kind of like chased Andrade, and it kind of caused a distraction. And then that allowed Rush to low blow Penta and take off his mask and get the win. So good match, really good match, a good match if you ask me. Then after this was the continuation of Mark Sterling's segment that I mentioned earlier, where he kind of was trying to get Orange Cassidy to sign the petition to get rid of Swerve Strickland. Dan Hounsing wasn't part of this. He basically said that Mark Sterling basically said that if Orange Cassidy wrestles Tony Nese, and then Dan Hounsing suggested that idea too. So I don't wonder if Hookhausen is over with, because he hasn't been showing up with Hook, and where is Hook anyways? When I saw Andrade back on TV, I'm like, oh no, his wife will be back on WWE soon. Oh wow, Michael. So then the Acclaimed and Gunn Club versus Ruffin and Fuego del Sol. So this match, according to Tony Khan, who tweeted out, he added this match last minute, I guess because the Wardlow match ended kind of quickly and short. So this match was added to kind of like balance the show out. I wasn't a huge fan of this match, honestly. Like I personally didn't really care for it. But the key points is that the Gunn Club and the Acclaim won after Austin Gunn tagged himself in and stole the victory from Max Caster. The Gunn Club did attack the Acclaim, and Billy Gunn tried to pull his sons away from the Acclaim, but he turned on the Acclaim and attacked them too. Austin stole Mac's mic. Never steal the mic from Max Caster. Yep, that's so true. So then we found out we're also getting the Briscoes versus FTR2 at Death Before Dishonor, which is on July 23rd. So I'm actually really excited about that. I mean, Briscoes versus FTR1 at Super Card of Honor was amazing and match of the night. So imagine if the first one was just as good, like the second one. I mean, I said that wrong. The first one was just as good. Just imagine how good the second one's going to be. It's going to be hard to decide what was going to be their better match. The first one, the second one. Max got done wrong getting his rap interrupted like that. Let's go, Pink Ranger. Pterodactyl. So then we get Nyla Rose and Marina Shaffir versus Thunderstorm. I don't know about you guys, but me being a Power Rangers fan, when I heard Thunderstorm, I thought of the Dino Thunder episode called appropriately entitled Thunderstorm. It's a two-parter. It's when Dino Thunder Rangers team up with the Ninja Storm. And the Ninja Storm Rangers were actually brainwashing the first half of that episode. So that was, I think of Power Rangers when I hear Thunderstorm. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's just me. There's a Power Rangers fan in me thinking about that. So I actually really like the team of Thunderstorm. I think they work well together. I feel like what's eventually going to happen is that maybe Tony Storm is going to eventually turn on Thunder Rosa. And maybe we'll get another match down the road between the two of them. I don't know. But as much as I like the parent, I just feel like, let me see. Marina, Shaffir, and Dynamite. Yep, Bruce should really book this show confirmed. Marina Shaffir is not the strongest wrestler. I think she's still a little green. So that's why the match was just okay. It wasn't like, the best women's match on the roster, but it was okay. Then after that, we get the AEW World Championship matches: Jon Moxley versus Brody King. And I thought this match was good, but I just felt like it was missing something. Like, I don't think the crowd was that into it. Normally the crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome," but I just didn't feel that with this. Don't get me wrong. One of the things that I liked was that Brody King looked strong. Even though he lost, he still looked strong in defeat. He didn't go down so easily. I see Tony Khan needs to keep her off Dynamite and keep her on Dark. She is so boring. Yeah, I'm not the huge fan of Marina Shaffir. He gave Jon Moxley chest chops. I really like the back and forth elbows. Oh, Jon Moxley digging his fingernails into Brody King's back. Oh, and then Moxley putting Brody King in a rear naked chokehold and pretty much winning this match by submission. And like I said, good main event, but it's just not really like, I just felt like it wasn't a strong show tonight. I felt something was just off about tonight's show. I mean, I really liked Wardlow winning. The main event was good, but it just, things were more entertaining than a Marina Shaffir match. Watching grass grow, 5'10", very weak show. Yeah, I have to feel like this has been one of AEW's weakest shows. Granted, it was still somewhat entertaining, but AEW just did not bring it tonight. And if I have to give this on a scale of 1 to 10, this certainly is not a Ty Dillinger. This is not a perfect 10. I feel like a 6 out of 10 is warrant. At least that's with me, I think. Again, Michael giving it a 5 out of 10. Very weak show. Yeah, definitely very weak. But with that being said, you guys, I do apologize for not going live on Monday, but it's craziness going on. So, but with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or when I release a new video. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow after Impact Wrestling. If not, I'll see you guys on Friday after AEW Rampage. Bye.